changing relationships? Why do you keep changing neighborhoods? Why do you keep changing churches? What are you actually looking for? Only you can answer that question. And only one person can fulfill your need, and that's the living God. Jonah took matters into his own hands. Nineveh had turned away from God. Nineveh was walking in adultery, and many of you today are walking in adultery. You turned away from God. You've taken your life into your own hands. You said, I'm tired of God taking his time. I'm going to do it my way, how I want to do it, when I want to do it, no matter what. This is my life. Besides, I live in America, so I am in the freedom. But as a result of taking your life into your own hands, matters have gotten worse. And that's what happened to Jonah. It had gotten worse. His shipmates came to him and said, hey, what did you do? Why is the storm raging like this? Why is the ship shaking like this? See, these were fishermen. They understood storms, so why were they afraid? They understood the water conditions, so why were they afraid? They understood both. These were fishermen. A storm shouldn't shake them. They knew about storm clouds. They knew about clear skies. Why were they upset during this time? They've been in many storms, but this storm was different. This storm had a different twist. This storm had a different magnitude. This particular storm was different. And they recognized that this storm was as a result of disobedience. They recognized that this storm was as a result of turning away from God. So they went to Jonah. And I believe they went to Jonah because he was the only one asleep. Everybody else was up awake trying to bail the water out of the ship. But Jonah was asleep. He wasn't in a sleep of peace. Have you ever gone to sleep after disobeying God? Have you ever gone to sleep after you got in trouble? Trying to hurry to go to sleep so you can wake up tomorrow, thinking yesterday was a dream, and the issue is still there. Disobedience, have y'all been there? Got in a whole lot of mess, couldn't eat. Took me 5 hours to get to sleep, just hurry, go to sleep. Hoping it's a dream. And you wake up the next day, and disobedience is still there. Agony is still there. Ungodliness is still there. Somebody said, but God.
But God.
But God. So the shipmate asked him, what should we do? And Jonah said, I'm a man of God. I'm a Hebrew. He said, just throw me in the water, and it'll be all right. So they didn't hurt him through their book in the water. They threw him in the water. They tried everything else. They tried praying. They tried to bail water. They tried to count rolls in the deep. They tried everything else. Nothing else worked. So they threw him in the water, and then the big fish felt bigger than the whale. The big fish consumed him. That was the grace of God. Don't miss this. The big fish was just like the fiery furnace where Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego hung out for a minute or two. The big fish was just like the lion's den that Daniel hung out in overnight. See, the big fish was just like the pit where Joseph's brother put him in. See, the pit was the grace of God. The fiery furnace was the grace of God. The lion's den was the grace of God. That big fish was the grace of God. It could have been a shark to eat him up, but it was a big fish that consumed him. So in the belly of the fish, that book had enough sense to pray. So he began to talk to God. He began to repent. So the big fish vomited him up. He came out. So God gave Jonah another chance.